welcome to the Chronicles of Mr. Pierre. And after some technical difficulties, we are so glad to be joined by Ms. Wilson. Ms. Wilson, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm really looking forward to this conversation because as an educator, we don't have the greatest or the most amount of time, but I'm interested to see your take on a couple things. And so to begin with, how did you enter into this space of education?
So I began tutoring probably about a little over 11 years ago. I've been tutoring math. I have tutored from pre-K all the way up to second year in college. So I've seen a variety amount of kids learn different learning styles based on those kids and how they learn math and what troubles them, what gives them the hurdles. And so I decided, okay, I love this space. And because I couldn't get to so many kids that I wanted to get to, because you don't have that many hours in a day, I decided to create this interactive series called the Math Guru, where I create interactive workbooks to help kids who struggling in math. So those kids who may not be able to get to me virtually or in person, they will still be able to get at least a part of me. And so I would love to kind of show a little pic of some of the books.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Please. Yeah.
Perfect. So right now I have 3 books. My first book is the Multiplication Volume 1. This is for my 3rd through 5th graders who are having trouble with multiplication. And then I also have a division book. And this book is centered around my 3rd through 5th graders as well, and that may be struggling with division, excuse me. And then lastly, my last book is my Exploring Math and Money, because everybody needs to start learning money at a young age, for my 1st grade book. I will say I have more books coming, so don't be alarmed. It's going to be more books covering many different concepts, many different ages. So I just want to give a sneak peek of kind of the work I've been doing and helping the children.
I think that's awesome, and particularly the finances in helping kiddos from a young age understand and become financially literate is super important. So seeing that as one of the books in your series is magnificent. Awesome. Was this education, was it always something that you wanted to be a part of? What was the sort of the genesis for you?
Honestly, I always loved math. I had one of 2 of the best math teachers that I could find. I think they contribute to my love of math. I always loved math, but then I also saw that math was giving so many different kids trouble. And so I always had that urge to want to help and try to bridge that gap and kind of create different ways, kind of why I do my tutoring and my interactive series based on multiple different learning styles, because I firmly believe it's not that you can't learn math, you may not be learning math the way that you can receive math. So it's important to kind of identify what your learning style is and then execute those math skills based on that learning style.
Absolutely agree with you in that. A lot of times kiddos as well as parents feel that they can't do math, and because of some episode, some issue, some moment in time that sort of imprinted that on them, and you just haven't found that right teacher or the person who's able to find, oh, this is how you learn, let me teach it that way in order for it to click and make sense for you, and then from there it's just avalanches. Awesome. Knowing that you've been in this field, in this space for over a decade, if you could jump into your Back to the Future DeLorean and tell your younger self, like, hey, here's this one thing that's super important to remember, what would be that one thing?
The one thing that I would say to my younger self is maybe 2 things. Give yourself grace and then be persistent, because math is like a marathon. It's like you can't just learn it and then one day and just be done. It's something that has to be practiced. It's something that has to keep being repetitive. So if there's 2 things that I would say is give yourself grace, because it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to admit that you may be struggling in certain aspects or certain concepts within math, but then also it's okay to say, you know what, I have to keep trying at this. Keep trying. You only get good at something the more you do it. So that's just what I would tell my younger self.
Was there a teacher that you had that was that encouraging person to you that showed you like, hey, keep going, you're gonna get it? Or did you have that growing up or coming up?
I did. And I would
Nice.
say my second grade teacher, Miss Hill, I don't know where you at, but you started it for me. She was the one that started me early to kind of tell me, you know what? It's okay to admit when you need help and it's okay to keep trying. Don't never feel like you fail. The only time you fail is when you don't try.
Shout out to Miss Hill wherever you are. Now knowing what you know, is there if you were to create sort of like your perfect school, knowing what you know now, like what would be some of those key elements of like, hey, this is what in the time that I've been in this space, in this education space, this is what I see that is missing, and I wish this were present, or that was present. What would be those things that would make up the Jalisa Wilson ideal school?
If I had a school, the one thing that I would say I would love to incorporate is being able to have multiple different resources to have kids be able to teach different learning styles. Because as you know, right now in the education field, in the teacher's classroom, it's like 25 to 1. So you really can't ask teachers to teach several different learning styles because one, there's not enough time in the day, and they're already burned out, they're stretched thin. So if I had it my way, I would have the resources to where I can cater to multiple different learning styles to be able to educate them in a way so that they can be successful. Because I firmly believe anybody can learn any subject, whether it's math, reading, chemistry, it doesn't matter. It's how they're being receptive to the information. Like, what are their learning styles? And I think a lot of times we over we don't really pay attention to it, or we overlook learning style as much as possible sometimes. And I kind of take it back. I don't know if we kind of overlook it as more as we probably just can't cater to it because there's just not enough resources there. So if I
Yeah,
had it my way, I would definitely resource it and then be a little bit more flexible with curriculum. I had it my way.
it's dope. I agree with the overtaxing of teachers. That yeah, when you have that 20, 25, sometimes 30 plus number of kiddos to one teacher in the classroom, that's a lot. And that's very difficult to be able to, like you said, be able to teach in such a way that every single kiddo is getting what they need so that they can be successful. And so yeah, resources would totally be up there. Is there anything, I know that you have your books, but are there any books that you're currently reading or would encourage others to read, that you're like, hey, this is a really good book, and it could be professional or it could just be personal, that it just fills up your cup?
I have two books. My favorite book that I have read over and over again is Jump by Steve Harvey. I love that book. That book is very motivational. It kind of puts me in a zone where I can feel like I can conquer the world. And then I also love the book Think and Grow Rich. I love that book. I'm very big on financial literacy, kind of bridging that gap because I wish it was taught in schools a little bit more. So being able to continue to enhance my financial literacy by reading different books is the way I would love to go.
The last thing I heard was Jump by Steve Harvey. And what
Mhm.
was the other one?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Well, that's a good one too. I've read that. Now this is the song or the question that I like to ask the most.
Okay.
And it's because I recognize too in this song, in this question of like, what are your top 5 songs and creating your playlist? It could change.
That is so hard. Oh my gosh. Gosh. I probably have the Kendrick Lamar playlist on right now. Boy, I have Kendrick Lamar on my playlist right now. Other than Kendrick Lamar, I have ooh, this is tough. I have Ella May, Little Things. I love Ella May. I have Money Long. I have a bunch of her songs on there. I'm kind of flexible. I like a little bit of everything. I'm kind of like an old school person too. I like old school. How many I have left? Three? Oh, this is so hard. Nope, I have two. Man, I would say any Chris Brown music. I love Chris Brown. And then my last one, I have this one song that I love playing. It's called Admiration of the King. It's a motivational song. It basically tells you to keep going. So I kind of listen to that song every day. So that would be my top five.
Songs definitely hit home. I'm sure there are a lot of folks on the West Coast, as not only the West Coast, but the moment you say K Dot, a lot of folks who are going to be rocking with you as well, who are going to agree that they're happy that he's on your top five. And that's just, and knowing that it could change. It could change at any moment, whatnot, and that's absolutely okay. Miss Wilson, thank you very much for coming through the podcast and having this conversation with us.
Thank you for having me so much. It's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. Folks, I'm Mr. Pierre. She's Miss Wilson. And this has been another episode of the Chronicles of Mr. And we're out. So the internet was interneting.
It would.
As it would. I will edit this. I will send you a link
Okay.
so that you can listen to it. And then, like I said, because of how everything works, it'll just all come together. If there's anything that needs to be edited, it'll take care of it on the back end. I mean, I'll send you a link so that you can hear it. And then I'll let you know when it's going to get posted to YouTube and Spotify and all that good stuff. And then, however you wish
Awesome.
to use it, I'm totally okay with that. Just tag me so I'm in there as well.
I sure will. I can't wait to see it and tag you. Let's get our views up. This is awesome.
Awesome. Cool. So, Miss Wilson, Jalisa, thank you so much. Hope you have a rest of your great evening.
You too. Thank you.
Alrighty, take care.